What's up, y'all? I'm Kiah, aka Mulan.
Glad to have you today.
Thanks for having
All
me.
right, so I know you from the modeling and and the acting world.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that before we get into the racing world.
So, far as modeling and acting, that's what I started off with. Acting kind of slowed down, modeling as well. But that's where I started off, and I love modeling, and I'm a plus size model. And then the racing started to come in, and that's pretty much it.
So about that. So how did the race? How did you start racing?
How to start racing? So,
Like what age were you when you started?
wait, I was around I want to say 19, 20 years old because it kind of slowed up, due to COVID and everything. But it was around like 19, 20. Um, I always go to the track with my dad ever since I was a little girl. Like I used to be on his shoulders, walk around, be at the playground. And eventually, when I got old enough, I was able to go out in the burnout box, and I really got into it. I'm like, Dad, like I think I want to start racing. So he said, okay. He said, we gonna see. And then it just went from there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So with that, like, how was it like the first time you got behind race car? How to actually your first race? How was it? When you first got behind it and said your father was like, okay, this is
Mhm.
it.
It was I want to say it was nerve wracking, but it was exciting at the same time because it was kind of out the blue. Like I said, my dad was like, all right, we're going to see. So I said, okay. This man never gave me a day, no nothing. It was just one day. I'm just thinking it's like a normal day. I'm going to the track with him. And he was like, hey, you driving today? And I was like, I said, all right. I said, okay. Got to the track and then sure enough, I was driving that day. This was at Capitol, the first track I raced at. And it was cool. Like of course I had a lot of adrenaline running in me, but I, it was cool. It was real cool. Once I made my first hit, I would say the hardest part, of course, was my burnout. I just could not get that down my first day of racing. But going down the track after I hit that beam and went down, oh, it was history after that. I loved it.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So like you said in your introduction, Mulan.
Yes.
Where did Mulan come from?
So if you ever seen the movie Mulan, one from the Disney princess and everything. So long story short, Mulan is basically a girl who replaced her father and went to war. Her father retired, and they wanted him to go back into war, but she's like, nah, like not about to let my father go back into that. So she replaced him, and she went into war for her dad, and ended up being the best fighter out there. So that's why I named her Mulan because I kind of looked at it as my dad at the age where he's not retired, but I'm about to make him retire because I'm like, I don't want to get out this car. So I kind of like, oh, I want to name her Mulan because I feel like I'm a girl going into war against all these men, and I got to be the best that I can be, and really got to prove myself to them. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'm gonna name her Mulan.
So with that, like, because you're an African American female in a male dominant sport.
Hmm.
So tell us a little bit about that. How's that? How is your experience dealing with
Hmm.
men and the respect or
Right.
disrespect or lack of when it comes to race?
I want to say, far as the respect part is there, it's no disrespect. And then the only thing that kind of gets me a little bit is I've heard it all. I've heard, oh, that's a female. She don't know what she's doing. Don't put that much power to the car. Or I've heard it all. Then I've heard the good side where it's like, oh, she's doing a good job. Or that's a female. That's cool. I want to support her. Da, da, da. So I've heard all of the goods and bads. Being a female. But far as I haven't had nothing negative to say about it. But at the same time, it's really hard to get a race, of course, because they don't want to lose, to a female.
I'm gonna have that. So like,
Yeah.
are they willing to step up and race you, or are they making excuses,
Hmm.
or how do you get them to race you?
It's so that part is hard. It's really hard because it's been times where, like I said, they will not racing just because I'm a female. So it gets to a point where I'm out to like talk a little trash. Sometimes you gotta poke the bear in order for them to get out there. But other than that, the races that I did have with guys, it was like, all right, you a female? I ain't scared of no female. And some, they jumped out there. But it's been hard, but sometimes you gotta like poke the bear. That's all I can say about that.
So that's part of, like you said, trying to get a race.
hmm
So it's nothing really set up. You have to try to set up your races. There's no, you go to the track and it says,
hmm
okay, I'm racing this person today. It's that you have to, when you go to the track, you have to, get your race. You have to find your race.
Yes. So by me being a grudge racer, unless I'm not in a shootout, then you got to find your own race. So basically, as soon as we get to the track or whatever, you look around, see who's there, and you just go up to their trailer. Hey, you want to race and da da da. Put the rules to it, whatever the case may be. Other than that, say I absolutely can't get a race that day, then me and my dad will talk about like, all right, let's go ahead and get in the shootout. And 9 times out of 10, the guys that I do ask to race, they'll be in the shootout. So that's like the only way you can kind of get those races off. But other than that, yeah, you just go to the track and you just go up to the people. Hey, you trying to race, negotiate a couple things, and that's it.
So explain to me, because you just said something about a shootout
hmm
and grudge.
hmm
What's the difference between the two?
Okay, so with the shootout, it's basically like a tournament. Everybody Everybody put their name in, and then we pick from a chip or however they want to do it. You draw a card or whatever the case may be, and just to pair everybody up. So that's basically shootout. It's like you don't have a say so of who you're gonna race. You're gonna have to draw who you're racing in the shootout. So like a tournament. And then with a grudge race is basically it's like you're taking a gamble. You're negotiating with the other person, like, hey, you want to race, they agree, all right. Then they make up the rules, whether they give you the back tire or you giving them the back tire, the clear and all that good stuff in it. So it's basically two people gambling, pairing up and racing each other. And it's always gonna be a 50-50 chance whether you win or not.
All right. So with that being said,
hmm
have you received any? Because like you said, you like 2019, 2020 when you first started
hmm
racing. So as a rookie or up till now, any awards or anything like that, come from this?
Yeah, so I had a couple awards. I've got female grudge racer of the year 1 year. Can't remember which year that was. And yeah, that's all the awards I remember getting. But I've definitely got a couple awards in a racing, yeah.
So do you just race in the DMV area, or do you
Oh no,
travel to race?
we travel for sure because it's for one, it's not a lot of females out here in the DMV, especially let me say grudge females. It's not a lot of us no time females, so we definitely got to travel. Here we go out to Florida. Like we'll be in Florida in December. That's like I call that the Super Bowl for grudge racing. But yeah, we definitely travel everywhere. Yeah.
What's your favorite place to? That being said, what's your favorite place to race?
My favorite place is I want to say Maryland International Raceway and Florida, Orlando Speedway. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
Speedway.
okay.
Yeah.
So why like Maryland National?
hmm
Because is that Buzz Creek?
Yeah, Maryland International Raceway. Yeah, that's Buzz Creek. Yep.
So
hmm
what makes racing down there like because it's like home turf? Or,
It's home. Yes, that's number one. It's home, and I just won a lot of races there. That's
oh,
what it's like one of my favorite tracks. Just I get good luck at Buzz Creek, and especially Florida. I love Florida's track. It's a nice track. So
so
that's really it.
so like you're going to Florida to race in December.
Yep.
I'm assuming it's still rather
hmm
warm there. So
hmm
um, what's like? Do you race when it's cold, or is there a season for
Yes. So racing is definitely a seasonal thing. You don't want it to get too cold, and then you don't want it to be too hot either. So yes, the race season is about to end this month, November, and then that's why everyone travels to the hot side, Florida, and then that kind of ends it off, and then it'll pick back up in spring. So it's definitely seasonal.
So, and how much time do you spend during? I mean, because you work,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
You have full-time jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you find time to, what's the day like? Trying to get prepared, or the week. trying to get prepared to race? Because like you said, you race next weekend.
No. So 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, beginning of December, I'll be racing.
Okay, so what's the working full time? How do you prepare
It's
to be
crazy.
able to do that?
I'm not gonna lie, it is crazy. It's been times where I get a call, my dad's like, "Hey, it's race day. We gotta test the car. I need you to be here at this time, blah blah blah," because you want to get there at a good time during the day where the track is good, prep good and everything. So working full time, it be times where I either got to leave early or soon as I leave work, I literally go straight to the track. And I'm like, it was a time where I got off of work, went straight to the track, got in the trailer, and literally dressed up. And this is me like getting back in the car after like months. So it's like I gotta get my head right. So being in race, it's a lot. It's a lot mentally, everything. You just like you got to be ready. Um, yeah, you may have days where, like I said, you gotta come from work, go straight to the chat, and then on weekends, it's like the whole entire day. Like we be there from the time it opens all the way until the time to the lights go off. So yeah, it's a long day.
So your dad is your dad, and you have a race team, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and with your dad, and
Mm-hmm.
how is it like working with your dad?
Oh man, with my dad, it's it's cool. Of course, that's my number one. I'm a daddy's girl, always. It's cool, but also, it's gonna have its ups and downs because that's my dad. So it's like he gonna be more harder compared to say I'm racing for somebody else and they gotta be light on me. Nah, my dad, he's one of them teachers where he gonna let you know. Like he gets on me, all the time. But it's like I kind of appreciate that because this is really how I learned so fast. Because him getting on me and helping me with everything. But working with my dad is like the best thing. 'Cause that's my dad. Yep.
So you said racing here, there's not a lot of other female racers. So do you have a rival anywhere? When it comes to female racers, do you have ones that when and you ain't gotta say the name.
Right.
You
Right.
ain't gonna say the name.
Right.
But but do you have like when you say like, oh, I gotta make sure
Right.
because you in this not only do you want to be the top racer, but you definitely want to be the top
For sure.
female racer.
For sure.
So is there you guys got rivalry or tell me about that.
So far as when we're talking about the males, I'll start with the males first. I got a lot of rivalries as far as the males because it's like I'm like, I want to race you. And they're like, why you want to race me? I'm like, cuz I'm like, I want to race the best thing. I don't care if you are faster than me. I want to race you. Just to say I was, riding side by side with you. So far as the male, I got a whole lot of those. Females, I had one, but she's not racing no more. So it's kind of like, but other than that, like I literally love all female racers. It's never no bad blood with any female racers. But um, I want to race them. I want to race every female that's on the property, unless they like a class race or something like that. I want to race every female on the property. No bad blood, nothing like that. And I always come up to them respectfully because most of the time, well, yeah, all the time, they're always older than me. So these are like grown women, and I'm just like, hey, respectfully, you want to put on a show for the guys? You want to, let's make a hit together. Da da da. So I always keep it respectful because I look up to them. So yeah.
So when you first got into it, was
Mhm.
there a female racer that you kind of watched and anyone to mentor? Because I know your dad is big in it.
Yeah.
So, but was there any female racers that gave you any kind of advice or that you look up to or anything like that?
It was, I want to say it was one, and I don't want to butcher her name because it was so long ago. Her name was Geneva, if I'm saying it correctly. But she was an older lady. She had to been like in her 60s, and she driving this mean big tire, big block car. And I was like, that day would just amaze me because I'm like, whoa, like this lady's still driving this car. And I was like the last day I saw her. But she's probably the one that I really look up to. Um, of course, there's professionals, big time female racers that I look up to. Other than that, yeah, those probably she probably the only one that I really be thinking about.
So now you have mentors, or like you said, you have people that you looked up to.
Hmm.
How about yourself? Like, do young ladies or kids or other, come up and, have you had given advice or,
Oh yeah.
things of that nature to, the younger generation?
For sure, I have a lot of kids that come because especially since I named the car Mulan, they're like, oh Mulan. So, cause that was kind of another thing I wanted to do. I wanted the kids to recognize something, you know. So I always have a lot of kids come up and take pictures with them and everything. Always have a lot of female racers that want to become a female racer, but it's hard because either their husband or their father's like, I don't know, and da da da. And then one thing I will say with the females, I feel like it's a lot of trust that you have to have, and that's really the problem. So that's every time they come up to me, that's like the first thing they looking at their husband or their father, like, yo, I want to do it. You see, she's fine, she's good, whatever the case may be. So I try my best to give advice or comfort to whoever's, supporting them. Like, hey, like you gotta trust them. We ain't crazy like y'all guys and just do anything, So yeah, I always get females coming up or, standing watching and everything.
So, yeah, because it kind of leads into my next question,
Mhm.
where a person, whether male or female,
Mhm.
racing can be dangerous.
Yeah, for sure.
It's very, at any moment something
Mhm.
could happen.
Yeah.
So, have you experienced
Mhm.
a crash or anything like that? While you've been racing.
Yes, so I've been in a crash twice in my whole racing career, and which is going to happen because I've made so many passes. I mean, that's inevitable. Like it's going to happen eventually, right? But I've experienced two. And did it scare me out of racing? No, because that was like one of the first questions my dad asked me after the race. He like, "Do you still want to do it? Are you sure?" And I told him like, "Yeah, like this is what I got myself into. This is what comes with it." And I fell in love with it. I'm like, I'm good. I'm fine. Thank God. I came out with no scratches. I had bruises, but that was just the car doing its job, protecting me. Other than that, I'm good. As long as I know my mistakes, why it happened. That's the main important part. But otherwise, yeah.
So the next time you got in the car after that
Hmm.
accident, it
Hmm.
wasn't something that was lingering, that you were hesitant to do anything.
Yes, now I feel like a person said it don't, that's a lie. It do. Cause it's like, especially when like my first accident after that, it was like a year. I came back a year after that. And of course in my head I'm like please don't let it happen again or yada yada. But my dad always tell me like get all of that stuff out your head. My dad always tell me clear your head, clear your head. Don't be thinking about nothing, like nothing from the outside world. Like this is racing. When you in that seat, strictly racing. That's all you thinking about. So I just had to clear my head, say a prayer. Me and my father always say a prayer before I make a pass. And yeah, it's like once I hit that burnout box, because I always had butterflies. Like that's every pass.
Gonna ask you that.
Yep. Every pass. But after the burnout box, I'm good. It's like literally I'm in sync. Like I'm just there, focused. So eventually it's like it's out my head. Yeah.
Okay, so where would you've been in it now
Hmm.
for roughly 6 years.
Hmm.
Where do you want to see yourself, in the future with this thing?
I want to be like with the top dogs. The top dogs. Like I want to be running like as fast as I could go. Um, but I want a new car. I will say that because my favorite car is a Corvette. We got a Fox body Mustang right now.
Mhm.
Love me a Fox body Mustang. Love that. But I always wanted to get a Corvette um with a bigger motor, go fast as I could go. I just really want to test my I just want to test myself and see how, fast I can go, honestly. So that's really it. Just be up there with the big dogs.
Is there somewhere that you would like to race that you haven't raced? Like, maybe I see the shows like, the ones out in Oklahoma,
Yeah.
Street King or whatever those
Mm-hmm.
called. Would you like to like race in the Midwest, the West, or something like that?
Um,
Or have you raced out that way?
so I think the spot I really this may sound crazy, but I want to race in Vegas.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I just seen this female racer, she's a black female racer, and she was racing in Vegas not too long ago, and I was like, ooh, I said, yeah, I want to be Vegas. That's where everybody at, the parties and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, imagine that racing in Vegas. That'd be my dream spot to race at.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So let me ask you. So again, you're a female racer. Your dad supported you and didn't let you get out there until you were ready.
Mm-hmm.
but your dad supported you in doing this.
For sure.
If you had a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
knowing everything that you know about, all of this,
Uh-huh.
and she came to you and wanted to race, what would you tell her? What would you do?
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had a daughter and she wanted to race, all I'm gonna tell her is we gonna know after your first pass. Cause that's what my dad told me. And I understood. First I was like, Dad, it's like driving a car. He was like, okay, yeah, we gonna see. And I understood when I made my first pass. Cause it's like once you on that trans brake and you let that button go, that car, it's gonna pull you back. And I feel like mentally you gonna know if your body really gonna take this or not. So I would tell her like, okay, you can do it, but we're gonna see how you act after your first pass. I want to make sure she's listening and everything, and she don't get cocky with it. As long as she's safe, and after she make her first pass, and basically how she feel mentally and physically, then I really determine if I really, be okay with her doing it or not.
Cool, cool. All right, so again, because grudge racing, you do the shootouts,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure that over the years, grudge and shootouts things have changed.
Yeah.
What is it that you like about grudge racing and shootouts, and what is it that you'd like to see change?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um. Okay, I started off with the shootout.
Okay.
The shootout, I like how you can't really choose who you're racing.
Mhm.
It's like you just drawing out the pot and you just going with that. So that's what I like about that. It's a gamble you're taking, honestly. Far as changing with the shootouts, um, I would change, make it fair, I want to say, because I literally just was in a huge shootout, and the car I got paired up with, he was like off rip. He was faster than me. If we both make a complete pass, which we both did, he was gonna win. Like he got me. So I would say make sure the shootout is fair. Like all the cars that's in it, everybody got a chance to win. All granted, I get it, the fast car always don't win. But I feel like,
But you would
make the
like to
shootout,
see
yeah, pair it up right. Yeah. Although most of the time they do it like that, but I'm starting to see now they're making it to where any car get in, they can get in. And of course the fastest car gonna always get in because he know he gonna win. He see the cars that's already in the shootout. So that'd be my point of view on that. Far as the grudge, that's again with that one you can't really say uh fair, this is that. That's if someone come to you and they like, hey, I want to race, okay, ask a couple questions, see, if you want to race or not. It's basically that's seriously taking a gamble because it's like that's it's always gonna be 50-50, of course. But that's one of those like it's a choice. Like literally it's a choice. So if you feel like you can beat them, whatever, then go for it. The ball is more in your court with grudge racing.
you know, I see over the years, and I've talked to some of the older guys,
Hmm.
and they said how it's changed to where the younger generation, where this with the grudge racing and things
Hmm.
like that, when you're setting up the bets and this and that and other, it
Yeah.
seems like got a little. It's more. It's testier. It's like it's a little more violent than it
Yeah.
used to be, and you got to
Hmm.
watch your back, and the trash talking gets
Yep.
elevated more, and
Hmm.
they feel as though some of it is with the lack of respect of the
Oh
sport.
yeah.
Do you see that being a problem, maybe
Hmm.
where track owners and things like that will be
Hmm.
like, hey, we can't, I don't even want to have grudge racing or anything like that.
For sure, because I look at it as well, racing people. This is some people's lifestyle. Like this is who they are. This is them 100%. Um, it is a lot of trash talking, and sometimes it gets to the point where it gets too personal. All depends on the race. That's why I said grudge is like that's a choice, whether you want to race that person or not. Whereas the shootout, you can't say much. You either in it, you pick and choose. That's it, done deal. But with grudge, it's like that's why I let my dad do all the talking. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a trash talking person. Like
Yeah.
I stand to the side, I'm like, look, you wanna race, let's race, whatever the case may be. Even like with a female, like I'm not about to go back and forth with a female. Like, look, you wanna race? Yes or no? That's that. I'm not with the whole cursing each other out and all that. I leave that to the man. I let my dad like, Dad, you go ahead and handle that. Let me know who I'm racing. That's it. But it has taken a toll on everything far as people getting personal with it. Cause like I said, this racing is people's lives. Like people will. when I tell you take thousands out their savings to go to this track and bet money so people don't play. Which granted, I get it. That's a hobby.
Mhm.
That's your lifestyle. That's cool. But I feel like, at the end of the day, it should be we come here to have fun. Like this is something that we spent a lot, thousands and thousands on. So have fun with it. Like I said, take that gamble and, just have fun. So it shouldn't be so personal, you know.
So, would you like to be able to do this full time? Like all
Mhm.
you do is race?
Mhm.
Where, because I know, like I said, you have a full time job.
Yeah.
So would it be hard to do that? Would it be
Mhm.
hard to transition to where, because like you said, a lot of
Mhm.
folks use a lot of their money to do
Oh
this.
yeah.
Is this something that you think could be sustainable to where you could do this full time?
Um, I want to say yes and no, and here's why. Yes, if the money's right, of course. The money gotta be right. Like I gotta see I can make a living off of it, or and going back to your question, where I see myself, I wouldn't mind driving other people's car.
Definitely.
So I eventually I do want to drive a big time car. Haven't drove it yet. That's one of my goals I really want to do. So in the future, if it comes to where a guy's like, hey, I want your daughter to ride my car and I'll pay her this, that. Oh, for sure, I'll do that. But the only reason why I say yes and no is because I love to travel. Like with family, I'm a family girl. I love to travel. And I know with racing, it's like a every weekend type thing, especially if you are a professional racer and you're getting paid to do, to drive other people's car or travel with your car. That's gonna become like a every week, every weekend type thing. So granted, I love race, like love it to the day I die. But it would have to be one of those where the money looking right and yeah, that's it. But I still want to make time for myself. I want to travel. I like to get on planes, I like to do fun stuff. And yeah, yeah.
All right, so tell me, we're gonna end it with you got race coming up in
Mhm.
Florida.
Mhm.
Is that grudge or is that strictly grudge or is this like you said the shootout type or is it both?
So that's both. That's shootout and grudge. So most likely I'm gonna try to get in both, especially because we're gonna be testing super early during the week. And so that way by the time the weekend come, it's strictly grudge racing throughout the whole weekend. Um but yeah, so it's shootout and grudge. So most likely I'm gonna do both.
Okay.
Gotta do both.
All right. So ending this thing, what do you want us to know about you? Whether it's the future or the present, or tell us, give us a ending shot on where you want to be and where you want to go and what you want us to know.
Okay.
So we'll remember who Mulan is.
Right. Well, I want people to know I'm not the old Mulan. The car that I got out now, whoo, let's just say dreams about to come true next year. It's about to be a lot going on. I just beat one of my records, went the fastest I've ever been in my life. Um, yeah, so it's Mulan coming strong. Real strong.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us
Mhm.
today. You're one of my favorite people when it comes to all this. I've seen you as a kid.
Mhm.
Put the determination into the modeling and
Yeah.
and your acting or what have
Yes.
you. So the racing part is I'm not surprised at all.
Right, a little tomboy.
Because you're a very determined person in anything that you do, and
Oh yeah.
I love your family. So like I
Thank you.
said, thank you for joining us today, and you are definitely one of the big shots to me, and letting these folks know what you do and kind of entering your world and
Mhm.
beware
Yeah.
because you coming.
Yes.
All
You know I'm
right.
coming.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, take care.